So I have seasonal allergies. But tell me why it's not a problem until I have to go to a medical facility. And now I've got a tickle in my throat that won't go away and keeps making me cough. And he took my blood. Look at the sparkly band-aid. But why? Why does my body do this to me? Okay, so I recorded. I said the wrong time, so I'm re-recording. I had an appointment today at 2:15. It is now 4:20. I called at 3 to let him know I was done with my appointment. The driver dropped me off, and I told him how long I was going to be because he asked. I said an hour. He said okay. He said it was going to be a little while. He just called and said it's going to be another hour because of where he was dropping the other person off. I'm not mad at him because he's kept me informed this entire time. Usually they don't. They just let me sit here and wonder. And then usually I'll call the actual company. Like he gave me his number to call. And usually I'll call the company and they'll just give me a random time amount that it'll be before they get here. And it's never right. It's never correct. They'll be like, oh, he'll be there in 10 minutes, and like 25 minutes later, they're not there. Oh, they'll be there in another 5 minutes. No, it's never that. It's dispatch. Every time they've told me it's dispatch puts so many people on their schedule. And then there are companies where the driver will just like accept another ride, like they get that choice when they shouldn't, because that'll make them late to come pick the other person up. That's happened. But the majority of the time is dispatch just cramps a bunch of people on their schedule and they just cannot get to you at a reasonable amount of time to pick you up. And the other thing is there are not as many accessible vehicles as non-accessible vehicles at any of these companies. So a lot of times, if I have to cancel an appointment, it's because they've told me, "Oh, we don't have a vehicle in your area to come get you because there's not enough accessible vehicles." I really should schedule a non-accessible vehicle, but I hate doing that because it's usually a vehicle I cannot get in and out of without assistance, or it's this horribly run-down vehicle. Like one time, my OB. I think the last time I went to her, or the time before that, I went to her. Uh, the guy was late, and the car just looked like he picked it up from a junkyard. The tailpipe came off on the way back. What else? He didn't have a GPS. So I had to instruct him how to get there. And then I called, and the receptionist was very snooty. She's like, "Well, how do you know how long it's going to be?" And I'm like, "Because I know how to tell time, and I know how far it is from here to there." She was all sweet when I got there. The dentist's office, the one I was at previously, it was not an accessible building. So I scheduled a non accessible vehicle, and it was really hard to get in and out of, which was really embarrassing. So I am a short person. I guess my doctor's appointment went well. It's just my iron's low. That's the problem, which makes so much sense. A lot of times that I have been tired for no reason whatsoever. This is astounding. So they're going to put me on a supplement for a few weeks, and I'm going to come back and see if it's helped. Which I think I'll know. I won't have to have them tell me. I think I will know if it's helped, honestly. I almost cried when he told me. Because I've been so worked up about it the past couple of weeks. It's been 2 weeks ago. took my blood, and then said, "Come back in 2 weeks, and we'll tell you what's wrong." So I've had 2 weeks to stew on it. I would say it could have been a telehealth appointment, but they also took blood today, just a finger prick. But ugh. Somebody in the car watching me record this video. If I look really weird. I got groceries the other day, so when I get home, I won't have to I have a lot of things I can just grab and eat when I get home instead of having to make anything. Because I think it's a fend for yourself night tonight. So at least there's that. Because it'll be dinner time by the time I get home. It'll be after 6. Wait, no. This isn't that appointment. This is only a half an hour away. Okay. Okay. So 5:30. It'll be like 5:30ish. Just want to go home. At least he was communicative. Usually they just leave me hanging. And then they call me and they give me these made up time limits. But he told me specifically where he was coming from. So I know that's actually that far away. Like he's not just giving me a time limit that's made up. So there's that. I look crazy to people inside though, because this is a new doctor's office for me. This is only my second appointment. Somebody's come out and asked me if I'm okay. Drank all my water. Could go around to the other side of the building, see if there's a water fountain to refill it. I might do that. The other thing is, it's really embarrassing when you're out here for this long and people are asking you if you're okay. You need their phone to call somebody, blah, blah, blah. It should be a few more minutes. I swear to God, if he's not here in the next 15 minutes. Update on the whole situation from the other day. He picked me up a little later. He was stuck in traffic. It was after work traffic. So yeah, it took a little longer than he thought it was gonna. Like he even sent me. He called me and let me know he was on his way, and then he called me again and let me know he was almost there, and then he sent me a picture text showing him in traffic. Like I believe you. I believe you. Because usually will just give me these lie time frames just to placate me. I'll be like, oh, it'll be another 8 minutes. 20 minutes later, oh, it'll be another 5 minutes. 15 minutes later. But this was not the case with him. I trusted this guy. He did not give me those vibes. And I got the tea from him. His company is one I've never had before. They're small and they're new and they're based out of Columbus. I'll have to put up a map of how far that is from where I live. It's far. Quite a while. It's at least a couple hours drive. So he said he'd been all over the place that day. Like he gets up at like 5:30 in the morning. He said he'd been to Indiana at some point that day. Like you have been all over the place, my guy. And he said exactly what I mentioned before. I told him I'll probably be an hour because I didn't really know that's usually a good time frame because it was only my second appointment at this clinic and I didn't know how long I was going to be. So an hour is a good guesstimate for doctor's appointments, I feel. My catheter change appointments are like 30 minutes, but that's different. Um, so it ended up being like 45 minutes, I think. Oh, he said that his company is small and new, and the bigger companies that I've had before, he mentioned a couple by name. He had asked me on the way there if I have had any problems with them, and I was trying to be nice, and I said no, which is a lie. I've had many problems. So we got to talking about it afterwards, and he said that the bigger companies who have been around a lot longer, when they uh, a driver cancels on them and they don't have another driver to put that person with, they just send it to them, this smaller company. So I had told him I'll be an hour, and they sent him. Let me see how far away. I looked. The place that they sent him to is at least an hour away from where I was. So before he had even got there, I was finished with my appointment, and I called him and let him know. And he said, I have to finish taking this person to their appointment and dropping them off, and then I'll be back to get you. And it'll probably be a little over an hour. I'm like, okay. He, because he said, uh, they called, and he's like, no, she said it's going to be about that amount of time for her appointment. I'm not going to be going somewhere that's that far away and be late picking her up. If they're like, no, you need to go pick up this other person and take them to their appointment. So he had no choice but to do that. I think that the whole thing where they choose whether or not they pick up a person or not, I think that might have been done away with. It feels like. So that was a thing early on when I really started having problems. That would happen. That happened a few times. I know, because the person that ended up picking me up would tell me. They will tell you. Oh my god, this door won't stay closed. I don't have a normal bedroom door, and it just will not stay closed unless I have it locked, which I don't. Anyway. Oh my gosh, this is better lighting. I should have leaned this way. Anyway, yeah, the real ones, they will tell you what the deal is. They will be 100% honest with you. They'll vent to you, which I don't mind. uh, he said, yeah, they were like, no, you're gonna pick this person up to it. So they don't account for dispatch and the people that like allocate the appointments to different drivers. They do not account for distance and time and all of that. They don't care. Their mindset is just put as many people with as many drivers as possible to make sure everybody gets to their appointments, which I still miss a lot of appointments anyway. And I think part of the problem is they do not have as many accessible vehicles as non accessible. And I explained earlier why I don't like the non accessible vehicles, is I can walk. Um, but the vehicles that they send are always just not ideal for the reasons I've already listed. I'm very thirsty today. Um, so yeah, he said that's what happened. By the time he picked me up, I had finished my water bottle, and I didn't see a water fountain at any of the entrances that were near me. Like my appointment place, there was one like around. As by the time he got there, they were closed for several minutes. So I had been outside that whole time, and it was hot. I was kind of in the shade, but I didn't want to like be blocking the front door, and it wasn't a lot of shade. So it was like on the edge of the shade, so it was still kind of in the sun a little bit. The staff ladies who were leaving last, they were so sweet. They were like, "You can go wait around at the other entrance if you want to. They're still open." So I did that. I'll make sure this thing is full next time. It was partially. It was about this much full. I have like this orange flavoring in it. Um, it was about that full. I should have refilled it. Wish I had. But that's what happened. But he was very nice and very, like I said, very communicative. He was telling me every step of the way what was going on. He was very apologetic. He felt really bad that I was put in that position because I waited. It was upwards of 3 hours. Um, my appointment ended at 3. I got home at like 6:30. So, hang on, my cat wants to come over. He felt so bad. And I'm like, I don't think you should feel bad. It's the people that are putting you in that position that should feel bad. It's you didn't have a choice in the matter. But yeah, he still felt bad. He was so nice. Talked my ear off the whole ride home. But the last guy who was also in the same position where I got put on his docket last minute because it was a later appointment too. Why do they keep doing this to these people? Get your act together. Like, changing the name of the company does nothing. Adding an automated system does not. The automated system is poo. Mora, I love you, but dear Lord. None of that helps with the scheduling of rides to the different drivers in an orderly time. I don't know what the word is. Acceptable. I don't know what phrase I'm trying to say. Hopefully, you guys know what I'm trying to say. It's hire people who know what they're doing when it comes to dispatching the rides. Like, people who are good at math. You need people that are good at math. This is ridiculous. And people like me are the ones who suffer for it because I'm out in the sun for 3 hours. Because the waiting room for my doctor's office was tiny and I felt like I was in the way. It was nice at first, like there was a breeze. Gradually, the breeze got less and less. Be better if I was more properly hydrated. So I'll just have to remember to make sure my water bottle is completely full. Maybe I bring an extra one. So, yep, that's what happened. Okay, so my driver started off at point D, and then he had to go to E and take that person somewhere I'm not aware of. And then I'm A. My appointment is B. He drops me off there, and then he has to go to C to pick up that person, and then he has to come back to B to pick me up, and then he has to take me to A, and then he has, presumably, I think he went home at that point, back to D. That was my driver's route approximately for the day yesterday. I also wanted to give times. From my driver, from where he started from at point D to E, that's 2 hours. And then he had to take that person somewhere else. I'm not sure where. And then everywhere else is like an hour in between. 30 minutes from my house to my appointment, but like everything else is like an hour. This poor man. He's like nowhere had like a bathroom that I could go into. And I didn't know my building very well. So I couldn't tell him where the bathroom was. This poor man. They really need to do something to fix this problem. It's ridiculous. I think he did eventually find a place. I think he stopped off at a gas station somewhere before he picked me up, which I was fine with. I'm like, that's ridiculous for you to have to do all that and not get to go to the bathroom. Like, I have bladder issues, so I'm well aware of the implications of that. So, yeah, just a poor man. So, like, a half an hour after the 2-hour drive to wherever and then I don't know how long to wherever he had to take that person. Then to my house. I'm not sure how long that was because I don't know where he had to take that person. From my house to my appointment was 30 minutes. And then from where he dropped me off to where they sent him to was, I think, a little over an hour. So then a little over an hour back to pick me up. And then 30 minutes home. This poor man was driving all over creation. Ugh. He did say that they were planning on hiring new drivers. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. Hopefully they're for accessible vehicles. One could dream. One can dream. What do I have a cluster of stress sits on my eyebrow? Oh my goodness. I have been stressed about that appointment, I swear. If it weren't for them taking blood from my finger, it could have been a telehealth appointment.